I'm here today to pitch this great project that I've found right here in London. It's an end of terrace house that is ideal to be converted into 3 apartments. At the moment, the planning says no, but I know there'll be a change of the law soon, so we'll be able to convert it to the 3 apartments. If the property angels join me with this high return and safe investment with this property right here in central London, they'll make a fabulous return.
Tell us a bit about yourself and what you are offering today, please.
And I've been a full-time property investor for the last 3 years. In those 3 years, I've invested very heavily in my education, so I don't make the mistakes that other people make. In those 3 years, I've already signed 3 multi-million-pound deals.
Excellent.
I'm here today looking for a partner, a JV partner, whether it's a 50-50 split or whatever option is the Property Angels works for you. It's an end of terrace house, 191 meters, so it's pretty large, and we can title split that into 3 flats, 3 bedrooms, 1 bedroom and a 2-bedroom maisonette on the top. And that will net you around 290k within 18 months. Very simply, the total spend will be about 1.4 million. From that, there will be about 580k net profit, which of a 50-50 JV will be 290 for the investor.
And how much money are you looking for?
1.4 million to buy, tax, to build out, and then to flip within 18 months.
What do you think the end GDV is going to be if you want to sell them on?
Very conservative will be 2 million.
That's as the split flats.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Title split for a flip.
One is to develop them and either sell them, or you might be open to, some people might want to hold on to them.
Well, I have the most profitable one would be to buy it now, convert it to service accommodation, run that for 3 or 4 years or 5 when the market bounces up, and then we can do the title split for a much bigger uplift at the end.
Would you do the physical conversion split to 3 flats, but just not do the title split? Is that what you're saying?
If we did the longer term view, we wouldn't even split them now.
So it's currently basically an HMO in its current form, or it's a single
No, it'll
family
be a
home?
service accommodation following the Yorkshire model that we have.
Okay, but what's it being used at now? This
Right now, or it was a HMO.
was an HMO.
I
How
think
many
it's
bedrooms?
not
were
a
in that?
legal one.
Okay, but how many bedrooms were in it?
It's got 5 rentable bedrooms plus the caretaker. So actually there are 6 bedrooms in there that we can let
Why
out.
wasn't it legal? Just because the standards weren't up to spec?
I think it's been going for many years.
They didn't upgrade it, and
They just never
Okay.
applied. That's
Okay.
what happened.
How many rooms could you get out of it right now as an HMO?
I didn't really look at that too much, but we can definitely get 7 or 8 rooms.
And what would you rent each HMO room out for?
A minimum of $750 a month. There are lots there for
But you think it'll
$750
be
or
far
more.
more profitable as serviced accommodation?
I believe it'll be much more profitable as service
The challenge is
accommodation.
obviously financing it as serviced accommodation.
Yeah, it's not so easy to finance.
and planning, I guess, is the other issue. You need
Well,
to
there
get
are
the right
ways
planning
around
right.
that actually.
Okay.
I found actually if I...
Legal ways, we hope.
Yes, of course. I only do things legally. Really, I only
Of
do it
course.
legal for the long term. That's all I do. But actually, I would recommend it to follow the Yorkshire model, which is actually one big house, and the rents there are hundreds of pounds. Or we could even get 1,000 a night potentially.
And in Yorkshire, how much is the property valued at that you've got on the Yorkshire model? 2 million?
Yeah, there's 4 large properties.
Whereabouts in Yorkshire?
Scarborough, sunny
Scarborough.
sunny
Sunny
Scarborough by
Scarborough.
the sea.
I thought you could buy the whole place for that much money in Scarborough, to be honest with you, and I've done a few deals up that way. Okay, so are we all...
Sorry, I was just
Yeah.
going to ask another couple of
Yep.
questions.
Quickly,
So
please.
the one in Scarborough,
Yep.
it's 2 million. What is that rented out per room? Or what you making?
Per house, if you go on AirDNA, that averages out over £570 a night.
Okay.
So
So you rent them out as the whole
Sure.
house per
The whole
night?
house.
We're
So
not
think
doing-
of
we're not
Grandma's
doing that,
70th
we're not doing the
birthday.
Scarborough deal, Michelle.
No, I know, but I'm just asking for his experience and his background and how successful he's been.
Well, clearly very. Okay, Andrew, thank you very much. We'll now have a chat amongst ourselves, and we'll be back to you shortly.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Speak to you soon. Thank you.
Andrew, welcome back. The first thing I need to ask you is, I hear you live in Cambridge.
I do.
I was a director of Cambridge United for 18 years, and I'm hoping you're going to tell me you're a Cambridge United supporter.
I am. I will be.
Fantastic. That's a great answer.
Right answer.
Well done.
Right answer.
Super.
yeah.
Right.
I think you
okay.
found a partner. There you go.
Okay, so that's it. Deal done.
The things that I've got a few questions on with my moral compass is Tommy, the caretaker.
We will look after him.
Yeah, so my concerns are legally, where do we stand with him being in the property? So has he got any rights to the property?
Actually, he doesn't actually.
Okay.
He
There's
has
just
to
been quite
leave.
a lot of emphasis on Tommy and his cats being in the property.
I always like to do the right thing. And that'll be
And
quite
Tommy
easy
knows
to
that
do.
he's potentially going somewhere, being evicted.
Yes, he knows.
Yeah.
What are you spending the money on for the refocus? It says you're digging down into the basement. So could you talk to us a little bit about that?
It needs underpinning as well. That's quite a big fee as well. But that's included, and that's got a specialist underpinning. That's not like, hey, I can work out.
Andrew, have you got a fixed price on the underpinning from a specialist firm?
Well, I can't remember the breakdown of all the 370k for the build. I rounded up to 400k.
Yeah, but
That's
have
the
you got
total.
a fixed price from a
Yes.
specialist firm? You have.
Yes, I
okay.
do.
And they're
And
giving a
actually-
guarantee on it?
Yes.
They are. Okay.
Is there a basement already? And it just
Yes,
is
there
it
is. It's just a
further?
little bit deeper. That's right.
Okay. So it's
So
not
that
it's not
shouldn't
a
be as
complete dig.
tricky.
It's just dropping it by.
Correct.
Would you be okay with just doing this development and selling it?
Yes. And going back to the HMO, because I never looked at it like that. When I said there was 7 or 8 rooms, actually that doesn't include the basement. You can definitely get 2 rooms down there. And there are a couple of large rooms that you can split into 2. So it's probably 10 or 11.
Does the 1.4 million include a cost of finance, Andrew, or were you assuming that we'd put all the money in and charge? How do we think about
Basically, that was a 50-50 JV,
that? Yep.
like that. So there was no cost of financing there.
Okay. The one thing about over the years with every development I've done with a backer or my own money, I've always valued my money or my backer's money.
Okay.
So I've always put that in at an interest rate, and I always give them that interest rate. At the moment, I put all my borrowings in 8%. So the deal has to work after that.
So I'll need to add 8% on top of that?
I would. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 140,000. So that will mean 1.56 cost. And since the GDV is well over 2 million anyway, so it's still basically the same and stacks
That's
up.
a very flippant, Andrew, it's a very flippant, well over 2 million.
Well, it's not really, because I really mind it very down to 2 million. It should be actually 2.1 already.
So it's a moving target, this is it, Andrew?
But it
Not
hasn't
really,
got planning
no.
consent agreed, has it? So it's subject to planning.
Correct.
the deal.
Could you buy it subject to plan, do you think? Exchange with that?
I've already mentioned that already, and the problem is it's a motivated seller, so it's cheaper than what it should be already.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what is their motivation? Oh, it's in there. The motivation is the guy is very old.
But if you exchange contracts, you're pretty much committing.
We could do that, and I've already mentioned that already, and I'm kind of open to that. I feel because the subject to planning, the planning's not. It's only if the investors want to get out very quickly, then the planning is an issue. Because the Lambeth Council are actually changing their guidelines, so we will get planning within 2 years at the latest.
I can't wait 2 years, Andrew.
So we could. So if you just want something short, well, we can do if you want to do a short deal only, then we can do a subject to planning, no problem.
You think so?
Yeah, I've already mentioned it with them.
Worst case scenario, you just convert it back to a normal house.
Always have an out before you have an in.
Yeah,
Always know
exactly.
what you're going to do if it goes wrong. We could do a pre-app. That takes a month for the council to come back on a pre-app and say what their advice is on planning, and that's pretty straightforward, and they're not like to change their minds. If they say yes, in principle, we would allow 3 flats in this subject to then you'll probably like to get it.
Yes, I actually quite like it, and I think given the subject to planning deals, and the fact that the backup position is something it already is, which is a house. I know it's not the avenue we want to go down, but as a fail-safe, I'd be quite interested in investing in this.
It's wonderful.
Okay, what's your offer?
Subject to planning, if we can use bank finance as well, I'm quite happy to go with the terms that you've suggested.
Oh, fantastic! Yes.
I think that there are people with a bit more expertise on this type of project than me, so I think you'd be better off with one of the other investors. So I won't be investing in this one.
I think it's a great deal. I'll come in, I'll do the whole thing. Exactly as was said. So using bank finance, I'll put all the money in for 50%. So that's my offer, but I'm saying actually,
No,
you
that's
guys
your
might
offer.
prepare to
That's
do it instead. That's my offer.
Well, I think we've all highlighted that. I think for me as well, it needs the bank finance. It's not as interesting if you're putting up the whole 1.4 million. It's too expensive. There's not enough in it. But subject to getting the maximum leverage possible with the bank and putting in all the equity, I'd be interested at 50%.
I'd be interested in joint venturing it with you. It would be subject to planning permission. I don't want to share it with any of these other lot. That's the first thing I'd say. And I will offer you 35% of the deal, not 50%.
65, 35.
Yeah. Now you might ask why. The reason is I've got more experience than the rest of the guys on this type of project. I've been doing it for 40 odd years. Sold 3,500 properties like this, converting. So you have a choice. You can either go with a lot of experience. You can go with some experience. That is entirely up to you. If I were you, I'd just have a little think about it now.
I would share it, but I wouldn't drop the equity, the percentage. So if one of the other angels would like to share it, you could get 2 angels for the price of 1, but it would be at a higher cost.
By John, are you saying you only want 35%?
No, I'm giving Andrew 35%.
So you're taking
of the
65%. So therefore it's not the same cost. In fact, coming with a partnership between us would be better off for Andrew, really.
deal. Well, only if he thinks you've got enough experience to do the deal, and you'll make as much money as we will, as me and Andrew will out of it.
And
Over
whatever you want to do,
Andrew.
Andrew, is called by us, basically. It's up to you.
Thank you all. Thank
not
you very
called
much
by
for
me.
all your offers, and in fact, I'd love them all actually.
Got 50% 2 ways or 1 way shared, or you got 35%.
Or a 3-way.
All 3? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Don't rule that
Yeah,
out.
sorry,
Don't rule
yeah.
that out.
If you'd all do all 3 together, yeah? You
Yeah,
could do that?
well, I could deal with that.
Could be interesting.
Could be an interesting one.
65, I think, is too high.
Yeah, I think 65 is way too high, personally.
Are you giving him advice now? Well, you're his agent.
No, I'm just saying I think 50% is a much fairer deal.
You get what you pay for in life, Simon, you know that.
Yeah, I do know that.
So, Andrew, what are you suggesting?
Come in the middle between 65 and 50.
I can't do that.
What can you do?
I've made my offer.
I think it's too high.
Well, I'm still happy to do a deal with someone else if someone wants to come in. At 50%, we can share it. It's up to you.
I really would like to work with
Well,
you.
let's
I was not
slow down a moment.
Okay.
What about 60%? If he doesn't like 65, would you accept 60%, 20% each? for the
Well,
3?
hang on a minute. You've just changed the goalpost now. We've already done that bit. You know, that's the
Well,
horse has bolted.
I'm doing it again.
hasn't it?
20% for 3
That's 20% per person.
per person.
20%, yeah, let's do that. That's awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm happy. So
Great.
come and
Hey,
shake hands, right?
congratulations.
Done.
I was in, I was out, I'm back in.
He got the strop on a bit, didn't he?
Well, what a day. I came here looking for an investor. No, I got much more than that. I got 3 investors and 3 new friends and mentors. This is an awesome day. And I'm really looking forward to working with them to make this project very successful and to help the people of Clapham. Oh, I'm very grateful for John Howard's offer. It was very generous of him. Yeah, very generous, 65% for him, only 35 for me. If he had come down a little, I'd have worked with him. However, reflecting back on it, I've got 3 new investor buddies, 3 new mentors, and I think actually for the long run, that will actually work out much better for me.